Today's lesson is going to be how to make these little cute baby booties. They've got a little tie up here so that they can be tied on. You don't have to add this if you don't want to, it's added at the end and it's very easy to leave off. And this pattern was created by Crochet Dreamz, and I will put the link in for the pattern so you can go and print it out. And she also has a Facebook page under the same name, Crochet Dreamz. Dreamz is spelt with a Z. So let's get started on the lesson. We are going to need 2 colours of yarn. It does say to use 3 in the pattern, so you will need one other colour, just a small piece for the little bow on the front. You're going to need a crochet hook. Depending on what size you're going to make, will tell you what size hook you need on the pattern. And also a pair of scissors and a sewing needle. So follow the link in the description box below the video and print off your pattern. And let's just have a quick read through it. It's called Boys Slip-Ons. Materials we're going to need are worsted weight yarn in 3 colours. I'm going to use 8 ply, which is equivalent to double knit or sports weight yarn, and I'm going to use a 4mm hook. But if you have all the supplies listed here, you can use what we have. So it says worsted weight cut yarn in 3 colours. I use Red Heart Super Saver yarn as follows. For colour A, they used the buff for the sole, colour B, lavender for the sides and the toe top, colour C for bunny ear lace tie. So that was the 3rd colour that you needed, just for that part there. So you're also going to need hooks, and depending on what size you want to make, so if you're going to make a 3 to 6 month, and there's also 6 to 9 and 9 to 12 month, depending on what hook size you're going to need. So figure out what size you're going to make, and then you'll need that hook size. And I'm only going to show you how to make the 0 to 3 month size. So the soles for all sizes, we used a H hook only, which is a 5mm. I'm still going to use a 4mm because I don't have the thick enough yarn. So sizing to fit ages 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12 months. And your finish measurements for your sole are as follows. You can have a quick read of that on your pattern. And your gauge, you use the finished size of the soles for your gauge. So we've got a stitch explanation, half double crochet 2 together. So it shows you how to do that one there, and stitch abbreviations in this pattern. They're all American terms. We've got single crochet, a slip stitch, a half double crochet and a chain. And your bigger sizes are given in brackets. So we've got some wonderful photos here which are going to help us quite a bit. And now we've got the pattern for the sole. And there's some tips for your sole. So count your stitches after every round, and at the end of each round when the pattern says to slip stitch in the beginning chain 1, you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch visible, and when it says slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round, you're going to skip chain 1, that's the next stitch visible, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, the first single crochet. So some of the rounds involved are a mix of single crochet and half double crochet to make the toe wider. So wider at the top here, it's going to be a few half double crochets in there. So it will be a good idea to use the cursor and mark on the pattern here to know where you are. So you could either use that or a pencil. You might get confused with all the counting. The sole is worked in the round, so we don't need to turn. So on the pattern we've got 0 to 3 months there, and for the 3 to 6 months it's in the brackets. So see how this is in brackets there? That means you're going to have 30 stitches if you're using the bigger size. And through the pattern it's got the larger sizes as well, but we are just going to follow the 0 to 3 months. So let's get started. So I'm going to put the pattern aside. I am going to read each line, but you can read along with your pattern. I'm sure you don't need to look at mine as well. So I'm just grabbing my yarn. So making your slip knot however you do your slip knot. It says, with colour A and a H hook, chain 10, and then chain tightly to maintain gauge and keep your sole stiff. So we're going to chain 10. We don't count the one that's on our hook. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it says round 1, 1 single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we don't count the one that's on our hook. That is our first and that is our second. So a single crochet, so we're going into the stitch, come on, there we go, and then working your single crochet. And then it says 1 single crochet in each remaining chain across to the last chain. So that's easy. Going into the next stitch, we're going to work a single crochet all the way across. And we're just working 1 in each stitch. Our weather yesterday was 34 degrees, which is very hot. And today it's raining and I've got jeans and long sleeve top on. So we're having crazy weather at the moment. So into your last stitch with a single crochet. And it says 3 single crochets in the last chain. So I'm guessing that that's our first. Going into that same stitch. It's number 2 and number 3. So do not turn. Work alongside of the foundation chain as shown in pick 1 above and single crochet in each chain across. Join with a slip stitch in the beginning chain 1. So let's just grab our pattern. See our photo here, we've done that part there, we've just done our 3 in the end, and then we're going to work alongside this one here. You can see how they're working along the top there. So we've got to work all the way till we get to here. So we've just worked 3 into there. So the next one is the same chain space that this stitch here is coming out of. So it's there. So we're just working across. So it's where the next stitch is coming out of. So that's the one from the other side. So we're going into there. And we're going to work one in each stitch across. I'm actually working over my tail as well. I'm just laying it on the top and then working around it. You don't have to do it like that, you can sew it in later, but I find that this way you don't have to, which is good. I hate sewing in ends. Okay, so we get to the end. How many stitches should we have? It says we should have 20. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I know I have to go into there because that's number 20. Sorry, I just went into the last stitch there, not paying attention to where I'm going. And we slip stitch to the beginning chain 1. And you should have 20 stitches. So round 2, we need to chain 1. and it says 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So going into the next stitch, we're going to work 2, so it's 1 and 2, and it says 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1 half double crochet in the next 4. So wrapping our yarn, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through all 3. So that's 1, 2, oops, 3 and 4. 2 half double crochets in each of the next 3 stitches. So this is the 3 that we have on the end here. See, there's 1 there, there and there. So this is the toe part of your pattern. So we're doing 2 in each, so that's 1, 2, and in the end, so that's 1, 2, and then 2 in the next one. 1, 2. And then it says 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 single crochet in the next 3. So it's 1, 2 and 3. 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. And then it says 1 single crochet in the next and slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain 1. So you've got 1 stitch left over. If you haven't, something's gone wrong and you're going to have to redo it. So it's 1 in that one, and then slip stitch to the top of the beginning, top of the chain 1. So the chain 1 is going to be hard to see, but it's there. It's here. So just work your way in there. Slip stitch. Look, I'm starting to get a little baby soul. Isn't it cute? So after that, you should have had 26 stitches. And I know I will have 26 stitches because I finished right. If I didn't, it means I haven't got my 26. So I'll just show you what I'm doing with my pattern, because I was actually getting lost myself because I wasn't marking where I was up to. Got a bit of paper and a paper clip, and it just helps you to be able to see where you are. So round 3 says chain 1, single crochet into the next stitch, two single crochets in the next, was that a single or a half double? Hang on, not sure. Single, so we need 2, so that's another one. 1 single crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 2 single crochets in the next, 1, 2, I'll move my page down, 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, 2 single crochets in the next. Now I hope you guys are actually reading along with the pattern, because this will help you read patterns as well. 1 single crochet in the next 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 2 in the next. 1, 2. Then you cross your fingers and hope you've got the right amount. 1 single crochet in the next. I can count. Oh, 1. I can't count. 1. Just said I can count and I didn't. So then it was 1 in that one, and then slip stitch to the first single crochet. So that's here. First stitch. And we're slip stitching. Ooh, look, it's getting better. So you should have 30 stitches. I know I do, because when I finished my pattern, I finished on the right stitch. But you can of course count it. Round 4. We've got chain 1. And this is the first time I've done this, so I'm learning as we go with you guys. Chain 1, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. What was this? That's 1 single crochet, so that's 1, 2, 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So that's 1, and into that same stitch, 2, 1 single crochet into the next 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches, so that's wrapping our yarn, 1, 2, 3, I'm just going to zoom it in so I can see what I'm doing. 4, because I actually watch the screen rather than watch what I'm doing, so I can see that I'm doing it right. 2 half double crochets in the next. So next stitch we're working 2. It's 1 and 2. 2 half double crochets again in the next. So that's 1, 2, 1 half double crochet in the next 2, 1, 2, 2 half double crochets in the next. I can see why the designer of the pattern said you might get lost where you're up to. So we're going to do that again, so 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 4. So half, it's wrapping. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I reckon if your stitch count was going to go out, this will be the row it'll do it. So it's 1 single crochet in the next 5. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm just going to move this pattern because the sound is annoying me when I'm leaning on it. 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets in the next, so that's 1 and 2, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and slip stitch to the first single crochet, and fasten off. There you go, you've just made your sole. How cute are they? It's really cute. So grabbing your scissors, snippity snip, and then I just thread the cut off piece through the loop and then pull tight. That's so cute. Somewhere I do have a tape measure. I'm just going to find it. So let's measure. Now I am using 8 ply double knit or sport weight yarn. I have 3.5 by, depending what part you measure, 2 down the bottom and 2 1/4 at the top. What were we supposed to have? Let's have a look. Not to 3 months, 3.5 inches long and 2 wide. That's what I got, wasn't it? Well, that's a good. So us Aussies and English people can use our double knit yarn and a 4mm hook, and we'll get the same size as worsted weight with a 5mm hook. Well, there you go. Learn something every day. So we've got our little sole. What do we need to do now? Let's have a look at the pattern. So what it says to do now is to grab your other colour. I've got green, and it says join the next colour B with a slip stitch when you have fastened off where you fastened off, and chain 1 as in pick 1 above. With right side of sole facing up, work in back loops only, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch and 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, joining with a slip stitch in the top of the beginning chain 1. We should have 36 stitches. So on this pattern, I'm just going to show you, because it does have the other instructions for the bigger sizes. So we're on the, let's see if I can get out far enough. We're on the first page. Sorry, that's the second page. So the first page had the purple bluey picture on the front, and then we've got the one with the sole patterns, which is a beigey colour. And then the next pattern is page 3. Next page is page 3, and it's got 6 to 9 months instructions. So we're ignoring that because we're only making the 0 to 3 months. And here it has the sides. So it's got some great pictures here. And then it says size pattern, all sizes, and we're up to round 5. So that's where I'm working off, just in case you were lost. So let me just put my piece of paper in so I know where I'm up to. So it says to join colour B with a slip stitch where we fastened off. So just going into that same stitch, grabbing your colour B, so that's your contrasting colour, and of course you can work this all in the same colour if you like. doesn't really matter. I think it just looks super cute with the extra colour. So I'm just going to do a chain stitch and join that one there, pulling down on the short piece at the back. And now we want to do 1/2 double crochet in the next stitch and 1/2 double crochet in every stitch around. So first of all we do a chain 1, and it says like the pic but above, so that is this photo here. See how we've got the chain 1 there? Then we're going to work around it like it has there in that second photo. So we're wrapping our yarn because we are working a 1/2 double crochet going into the next stitch. Just going to zoom in, there we go, a bit easier to see. And we're working all the way around. Whoops, sorry guys, we're supposed to be working in the back loops only. Lucky we noticed. So you got to read that pattern. So back loops only. That means we're working in the back loops. So when we normally go through a stitch, we go through and we've got these 2 loops on our hook here. Back loop only means we only want the back loop. Let me just get these out the way. So going into the top of the stitch, so normally you go under the 2 loops. You're going to go into the top where the V is, turn it on its side, it looks like a V. Going into the top there and grabbing the back loop only, because the front loop is in the front here. So back loop only, we're 1/2 double crochet, and so we're wrapping your yarn, going into the back loop only and working your stitch. And we're going to do this every stitch around. So just capturing that back loop, ignoring the front one, and working our 1/2 double crochet. And by doing this, it is going to make it a nice neat bit, and it will you'll be able to see the difference between the sole and the top of the little booty. We'll give it a nice clear line where the 2 are separate. And it also adds, let me just do a couple of more stitches. It also adds this beautiful little line here, which is also a little bit of added decoration as well. But it helps as well to make the side of the beanie sit up straight, because you've only worked into the 1 loop. If you worked into the both, it's a little bit harder for the piece to stand up straight, because it's trying to compete with the both loops where it's nice and thick. So I'm going to work my way around working in the back loops only. I might just leave the camera running so that we can just everybody catch up. If I'm ahead of you, just pause it when I get to the next part until you're ready to continue. I like using the back stitch only because when you go backwards and forwards on rows, it gives it a nice ribbed effect as well. So many different ways that you can use crochet. That's what I love about it. It's not just your boring old stuff that your grandma used to make. Not that it's ever boring, because it's created. It takes time to do it, like we all know now, because we're all into the art of crochet. So we're just coming around, and I'm just about finished. And it says we should have 36 stitches, so I'm going to make sure we do. I'll make sure I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 36. What did I say? We should have 36. And this stitch here is that one there, so now we need to slip stitch to the chain 1. So that's this chain here. We want to try and go under both loops and slip stitch to join. So what does our next row say? So we're up to round 6. I'm just fixing up my bit of paper off camera. We need to chain 2 and then working through both loops now, because we only just needed that one row just to make sure that it sits up nice and straight. So we're chaining 2 and working in both loops. 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, join with a slip stitch in the top of the beginning chain 2, fasten off. And this is the ankle side of the shoe, the narrow side of the sole. So where it's narrow at the back, that is the ankle part of your bootie. So basically all we need to do is do our chain 2 and work through both loops of the stitch. So you've got 2 loops there. One of these in every stitch around, and then slip stitch to the beginning chain 2. So I'm going to turn the camera off this time, and I'm going to catch up with you when we're ready to start our next part.